working on the pitch roof of the loft today and using this PIR insulation, which is the same as Kingspan. This is the ecotherm, the celotex, all the same sort of stuff. Just thought I'd show you how I'm doing it, to give you an idea of how you can cut it and fit it to get a nice snug fit. We're obviously dealing with old rafters, some of them are angled, so it's not ideal. In a new build it'd be much, or a newer building, it'd be much more regular. But what you want to do is just measure top and the bottom of the section you're doing. This is fairly even, it's slightly larger at the top, so I'll allow for that. And then when it comes to marking, just using the tape measure, we can line up what it is and then just dig in the actual claw of the tape measure to make a mark. Just line up on those rafters. I'm just using a trestle table here, which is quite helpful. And then you want to make sure you've got a dust mask on, because this is pretty nasty stuff. And also I found that it does sting your eyes a bit if you get the dust in there as well. So when you're fitting, I normally put a pair of specs on as well. So we've got our piece now, and we want to make sure we know which is the side that we measured first. I'm going to now cut it to length, and then I also need to do a small notch because of the way this roof is built at the top. Once we fit all of them, then we can lay our next layer of insulation. This is 100mm of insulation going between the rafters, and then we'll have 50mm over the top of everything, and that will just stop any thermal bridging, and we'll fix those using some washers and screws, just because we're not at the stage that we're going to be plasterboarding yet. Right, so then you can slot it in. I've taken out this notch that I needed to. Make sure it's butted down to the next joint. We can tape that as well, and then it's a case of tapping it in. Now you want to get a nice snug fit, but you also don't want to force apart the rafters. So by running the saw down the side, you can just shave off a little bit at a time. So that's it, that's how I've been doing it so far, and it seems to work. Obviously, because we've got slightly irregular rafters, there will be some gaps. They don't all go all the way back, but that's fine. So it is sealed on both sides. But if there are any gaps, we can just use a little bit of expanding foam if needs be, just to plug those. But remember, we've got another whole sheet to go over the top of this anyway. For more videos on the renovation and top tips, please click subscribe, and remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.